All right, welcome to Smokey's Drill Files. I'm your boy Journalist, and on this one, we are going to be covering all the Scar City Studios videos on Loski. When I say all of them, it's really just the one video before he actually catches the gun charge, so I can kind of get all information that's been compiled. Excuse me, on Loski, so we can kind of have the best picture of facts I might not have known or might have missed that I feel like should be covered, because I'm just like, the homie told me it took 4 trials to convict my brother. I'm like, nah, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's a miscarriage of justice. Like, you wasted my fucking tax money 4 fucking times to convict the guy over a fucking ugly ass revolver. I don't know what the fuck. Like, that shit is still, it's a little chunky bitch. It'll still knock a hole into a nigga, but like, that's an ugly ass gun though. Keep it 100. But I'm just like, that's just wrong. So I just really wanted to kind of know exactly what the fuck the situation is. So thank you very much for joining me. If you want to find out any more information past this, I would say go subscribe to Scar City Studios, because I'm just kind of using their stuff for the coverage they already have. That being said, please hit the like, subscribe, and Patreon is in the description box if you would like to support the channel further or get early access or exclusive access to anything that we got going over on Patreon. Let's get into this one.
Yo, this is the Scarcity Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
On the wing.
You know, man.
Who's that? Who's that? Is that Loski?
Gang.
Back on the wing. Living life again. What the fuck? Obo, shit.
There's a reason they called it the fast life. It just goes so quick, and it's ups and downs, and you never know what's around the corner. In the latest war against the Harlem Spartans by the police, Loski has been arrested and actually turned up in prison. Like, in a matter of days, he's featured in somebody's video or whatever. There's many reasons for him to be in that suit. It could be because of a previous offence, or it could just be for something that occurred when he was getting arrested. In March, Loski had dropped Mad Moves, his mixtape. It landed at 38 in the UK British iTunes charts. And just
good.
before he dropped that, he released Hazards 2.0. But at the same time, the track was very provocative, and shortly after its release, the video was removed by Trident Police, which are the specific gang police that focus on gangs and groups such as Harlem Spartans. As I'm sure you're aware, I know a lot about the audio bans and how it works with the police injunctions. In order to be able to remove a track, they have to insinuate that it could potentially spark more violence between rival gangs. And there's certain things that it says in the track that I could, for example, I believe the police have interpreted that as provocation. Any mention of SA or Lats, aka Splash Addict, who passed away, he lost his life in South London not long ago, and also mentioning opposition as in rivals. And due to Loski's success and how well he's actually been doing, of course the police are going to focus more attention on you. They are dying for you to mess up, because they will only be proven wrong. Any success you have with music only proves the police wrong in the long run, so they can't be having that. So they'll be stopping you for anything. They're looking for you with weed, a bit of whatever, anything. I have no idea why he's been arrested. There's a lot of speculation, but as that's what the internet does, it just speculates. I mean, I want to try and give a clear picture, and being as it may be an open case, I'm not even going to speculate, because that is one thing people say: snitching, reading papers, etc. But what you have to understand is that a closed case or a crime you've already been convicted for, nobody can get in trouble for that. But when it's an open case, potentially an investigation, I wouldn't want to speculate too much on that. So I'm surprised, because like I said, at the end of the day, from where he's just come from, and then to just hit that low, and don't get it twisted, he may look jolly and happy in the video, but you are definitely going to be on edge, not just because you have oppositions in jail, but due to the fact that of your celebrity. People would just want to attack somebody just because they're famous. It happens all the time. I hope whatever's happened. City Studios YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, share the management. Loski from Harlem Spartans. As I briefly spoke on the video with Heady One.
Yeah, when they said the loaded bit, I was just like, jeez. Like, bruv, I loaded a gun. The way it worked for y'all, that's a year per teeth. Tooth. That's mad blood.
And Also about the arrests in the Biss murder. I explained that Loski was on trial. We're only going to talk about and read from the actual papers and what they've released right now, and we'll go into more detail after the trial. But it's saying in the Evening Standard that a drill rapper has been caught travelling with a loaded gun, which he planned to use in a violent feud with rival South London gangs. Gerald O'Connor, aka Loski, allegedly took a 4mm caliber Florent revolver wrapped in a black sock, where he hired an Uber to drive him into London. When police pulled over the taxi, they found a loaded weapon under the front passenger seat and realised later that one of the cartridges had been fired, Croydon Crown Court heard. In regard to that revolver as well, 4mm is tiny, like it's a very small gun. I've had it on the channel before once or twice in different cases. It's very popular with gangsters due to the fact of how small it is, and it does have some impact, but it's not the same as other handguns. Prosecution Kenneth Millett said that Loski had a clear motive for carrying the gun, and he was a prominent member of Kennington-based Harlem Spartans gang. They're in a violent feud with gangs from the Brixton area, the 410 gang from Angeltown, also known as Angeltown gang. This is a firearm which could kill. Small, held in the hand in a sock to disguise it. It is definitely not for shooting pigeons or foxes. This is to enable the possessor of that weapon to endanger life whenever an occasion arises. The prosecution have told the jury that Loski had previous convictions in 2015 when he was caught with a shotgun under his bed, and detectives found pictures of guns on his phone and a video of a Mac-10 submachine gun being loaded. The prosecution said that the revolver was for use in connection with a continuing gang dispute, either to be used by Loski or another member of Harlem Spartans, he said. The feud had led to murders, and they suggested that drill rap songs were used to fuel the disputes and disopponents. Loski's Uber was pulled over in West London on April the 9th last year when he was wanted for a questioning about the death of his friend. Latwan Griffiths, aka Lats, aka SA as well, also said to be a Harlem Spartans member. Rest in peace to Lats as well. O'Connor did not answer when questioned about the gun. The prosecution are trying to dispute the claim that he is merely just a member of a music group. He denies possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, the possession of a firearm while prohibited, and possession.
The thing that would have helped him bust case was if that motherfucker had been smarter about his DNA. Because if that motherfucker always wears a glove and never touches that motherfucker regardless, it's not mine, officer. It's very circumstantial. My shit's not even on there, because that's where they have him, is with the DNA.
Of ammunition as well. And of course, to a lot of Loski fans, this was a big shock. It was unexpected. Nobody knew this case was pending. Nobody knew that he'd been arrested at that time. It took a while for details to emerge. And he's also going not guilty as well. So given the fact that if he gets found guilty, unless he changes his plea towards the end of the trial, then he could be serving a significantly longer time than if he'd have gone guilty. The time they can give you nowadays for a firearm possession in London, if they can try and connect conspiracy and also any types of gang connections, they can give you a long time. So it's not looking good at the moment, but we'll definitely keep you updated on the outcome of that case. So really appreciate you joining me today. There's plenty more news. Loski, most famous for his Kennington drill rapper. Loski, most famous for his association.
Wait, see that shit? That shit ugly as a motherfucker. That shit look like some Green Mile shit. Fucking World War II type shit. Like, that shit ugly. But it'll still hurt a nigga. But that shit ugly. Fuck.
Association to Harlem Spartans has today been convicted of firearm charges. The police said in a statement that the jury heard in the trial how fascinated Loski was with firearms and also gang lifestyle. And they said on his phone they found numerous Google searches for firearms and also ammunition in the months prior to his arrest. It was only a few weeks ago he appeared on Kenny All-Star's Mixtape Madness, performing a freestyle for a Christmas special. But in 2 days he will be sentenced for this conviction.
Gang, still anything get buzzed. Most of been touched. We don't want these apart.
The prosecution said this was a case involving firearms violence and gang disputes in South London, and a jury on the 4th of January found the 23-year-old, whose real name is Gerald O'Connor, guilty of possession of a loaded revolver. The conviction is part of a 3-year investigation led by Detective Constable Andy Snazzle from the Metropolitan Police's Crime Command. The judge and jury heard that Loski
was a prominent member of a South London gang who was involved in ongoing disputes with other gangs in Brixton. On the 9th of April 2019, Loski was getting into an Uber car under a false name, and unarmed officers stopped him and the vehicle on St Andrews Road in Westbury. Police searched the vehicle and found a small black sock and something inside it underneath the front passenger seat. This is where O'Connor had been sitting. Inside the sock was the black loaded revolver. He was arrested on suspicion of being in possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. He was charged on the 10th of April 2019 with possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life and possession of prohibited ammunition. Forensic analysis of the firearm confirmed that it was a Flobert caliber 4mm, and it looks like a very small gun, but it's actually very popular, and police recover these guns all the time. His DNA was found on the loading face of the cylinder, and this is the covered part of the firearm, and it wouldn't be accessible without somebody opening it. So this was part of the prosecution's evidence to secure the conviction. Loski denied the charge and said that he was forced to hold the gun by a drug dealer who made threats to him and his mother's life. The jury rejected this and did not believe the defence. The police said that he was originally stopped that day to be questioned in relation to events that led to the death of his friend Latwan Griffiths, who was killed in July 2018. Latwan was fatally stabbed in an attempted shooting on a rival gang. They said that Loski's DNA was found on a man bag that Latwan had wore at the scene of his murder, and officers also found his fingerprints on a reversible latex glove with gunshot residue on it. So this was them trying to connect Loski to being at the scene with Latwan, so potentially being involved in the ride-out. And that was the evidence that the police believed they had before they arrested him for the firearm. He hasn't faced any conviction for anything to do with any weapons at the scene of Latwan's death, and nobody has ever been convicted of killing Latwan either. Latwan, aka Lats, was 18 years old when he was killed. He was from Southwark, and he was murdered on July the 27th, 2018. A witness said that the moped rider was telling Latwan to hold on, but he couldn't hold on and collapsed and was found in the Camberwell area. The police never found out where he was originally stabbed. Following Loski's trial, the detective in charge of the case said, "This has been a trying and challenging case with lots of twists and turns. I'm pleased that the jury have convicted him and he is guilty of these crimes. I have no doubt that O'Connor and his gang associates would have used the revolver in the future, and I'm glad that we've got this weapon off the street." So this is a breaking news story coming from Croydon Crown Court, and we'll definitely update you on Friday when he's sent.
See, that's the one thing is, what's it called? Like, you don't go over the fact that they tried the guy 4 times. Like, that's crazy. Like, how you try somebody 4 times for the same thing? Like, you guys don't have double jeopardy over here?
We don't want these apart.
The prosecution said this was a case involving firearms violence and gang disputes in South London, and a jury on the 4th of January found the 23-year-old, whose real name is Gerald O'Connor, guilty of possession of a loaded revolver. The conviction is part of a 3-year investigation led by Detective Constable Andy Snazzle from the Metropolitan Police's Crime Command. The judge and jury heard that Loski was a prominent member of a South London gang who was involved in ongoing disputes with other gangs in Brixton. On the 9th of April 2019, Loski was getting into an Uber car under a false name, and unarmed officers stopped him and the vehicle on St Andrews Road in Westbury.
South was nice.
Police searched the vehicle and...
Cuz, that doesn't count. It said he got 7 years, though. I thought he was going to go over. This is terrible, bro. They did a terrible video. But fucking, yeah, I guess they gave him 7 years, though. But I wanted to know why he got 7, though. Like, I wanted more detail on, like, how he got the 7. So that sucks that they didn't really go into the right type of detail. I'm going to make sure I didn't miss no video, bro. Yeah, no, that's it. Fuck, man. That's trash. Well, yeah, all right. That's going to be it for me on this one. I wanted to go over this because it's kind of big news for, like, the drill scene. Like, this is pretty big artists we're losing for the scene. Yeah, but free the boy. That's mad, though. That's fucking 4 times? Yeah, nah. That shit ain't right. Shit ain't all right. But that's going to be it for me on this one. Thank you guys very much for your time. If you could, please hit that like, subscribe, Patreon in the description box, and I'll see you guys on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.